Hello my beautiful friends. Welcome to Blow Up, where Reddit secrets burst into wild tales. Today we've got 6 insane family bombshells. Think DNA twists, boundary battles, and cringe clapbacks. Ready to dive in? Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's set this off. My 21M, parents 52M and 45F, are currently going through a divorce. It's not a nasty situation, just a recognition that they've stopped liking each other and can no longer stand being in the same room. They've been married for just over 21 years. Yes, I was the reason they got married, and aside from me, 21M, they have another son, 9M, a full 11 years younger than me. About 2 weeks ago they had the talk with their lawyers. I'm away in another region of the country for college, but according to my mom, during the discussions, my father repeatedly questioned whether I was actually his son. He claimed I had ruined his life and called my mom horrible names, his words, not mine. My mom decided to settle the matter with a DNA test, so I had to take leave from college and return home. The test was conducted with lawyers present, and throughout the entire process, my dad refused to look at me or say a single word to me. Afterward, I went back to college and their divorce proceedings resumed. When the DNA results came back, my mom called me really cheerful and happy. I am indeed his son. The day passed without a single call from my dad. It took him 2 weeks to reach out, but I didn't answer. Honestly, I had no desire to hear from someone who had been so adamant that I was nothing but a burden his entire life. My silence was interpreted as rebellion, and now everyone on my dad's side of the family is angry with me. So, my question is, should I even try to have a relationship with my dad after what he said? And how can I make him understand how deeply his words hurt me? Shit hit the fan in a way I didn't anticipate. He is actually staying camped on his belief and has asked me to sign a paper that's going to release him from any parental rights. Life has a way to show you who matters and who doesn't. In my case, I can tear apart that entire branch of the family tree. Sorry for the confusion on the parental rights. What I mean by it is that he won't have the moral obligation to help me in case of an emergency and vice versa. Yes, laws in my country force the parents at any age of the children to help and assist in any way they can, and they can even be sued for non-assistance. Dad's out here playing Maury Povich and lost the plot. I bet he thought, DNA test? Checkmate. Then got served reality. Opie's like, sign me out, Pops. Someone get this guy a worse dad mug and a one-way ticket off the family tree. That's a paternity plot twist. If you were OP, would you cut dad off like he did or give him a shot after the DNA drama? Is dad a jerk or just broken? How would you make him feel that hurt? Drop your take below. And if you've had a family DNA shock, spill it. I'm all ears for more blow-up-worthy chaos. That DNA test flipped dad's world upside down. Talk about a family fumble. Blow Up crew, you're rocking it. Our next story from our /amid asshole is about parents begging to crash a happy home. If you're loving these secrets, smash that like button and let's keep the drama rolling. I, 38M, have been married to my wife, 36F, for almost 10 years. We bought our home a few years ago and have 2 kids, 6 and 4. Things have been going well. We both work, we've made the house feel like our own, and we finally have a decent routine. Recently my parents, mid-60s, announced they're selling their house to simplify and asked if they could move in with us for a little while. They said it would be just until they figure out their next steps, maybe 6 to 12 months max. The problem is, I know my parents. A little while could easily turn into forever. They don't get along with my wife that well, they have very different lifestyle habits, and they tend to be overbearing when it comes to our kids. They also don't believe in boundaries, like at all. Our house isn't that big. We'd lose the only guest room and likely our sanity. My wife is already anxious just thinking about it. I told them no. I tried to be gentle and said we just don't have the space and need to keep our home private. My mom acted like I slapped her. She cried, told me I was abandoning them in their old age, and said she never thought her own son would turn his back on them. My dad didn't say much, but he clearly agrees with her. Now they're giving me the cold shoulder, and a few extended family members have messaged me saying family comes first, and that I should step up. But I really don't think this would be healthy for anyone, not for me, my wife, our kids, or even my parents. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to let my parents move in with us. Parents pulled the simplify card and got a hard no, ouch. I bet mom's still sobbing, my son hates me, while OP's like, guest room? More like stress room. Someone get these folks a tiny house and a boundary manual. That's a space invasion dodge. If you were OP, would you let your parents crash like that or guard your sanity like he did? Are they guilt-tripping or does family trump all? How would you shut down the sob story? Tell me below. And if you've faced a family move-in mess, share it. I'm craving more blow-up-worthy drama. OP held the line like a champ. Parents got shut out. Blow-up squad, you're killing it. Our next story from our /AITAH asshole is a drunken roast that went nuclear. If you're hooked, hit that like button and let's dive into more Reddit madness. Recently my boyfriend, 47M, and I, 29F, went to a friend's wedding. Both of us were pretty drunk at the reception, as were most of our friends and family. At one point, my boyfriend and I were at separate tables talking to people, and one of his friends comes over to me saying I need to come get my man, because he's acting like an idiot and saying stupid shit. I told him that's pretty par for the course when he's drinking and just to cut him off from having any more. His friend was laughing about this, so I didn't take it seriously. Not long after that, we end up migrating into a larger group and I see my boyfriend. He's stopped drinking but he's still evidently hammered. They're on the topic of sex positions for whatever reason, and he's saying very loudly how much I love doggy style and physically making the motions and overall making me super uncomfortable. I told him, quietly, to cut the shit and stop talking about that. Of course he didn't. He stopped for maybe 10 minutes before getting back into talking about our sex life, this time to announce to all of our friends that I love anal. By this point he was talking loudly enough that his family, including his parents and brothers, could hear us at the next table over. My boyfriend and I have done anal a few times, but I don't really care for it at all, it's just something I do for him. This time he shakes me by the shoulders and again practically yelling says, "You love it up the ass. You like the pain of it, don't you?" Naturally I'm fucking mortified. I say the first thing that comes to my mind, which is, it doesn't hurt when your dick is that fucking tiny, and I leave. Admittedly, I was also drunk and maybe missing out on some details here, but afterward my boyfriend was furious with me. He said I embarrassed him in front of friends and family and I was completely out of line. He said that it was obvious he was joking before and my comment was deliberate and hurtful. I'll concede that I was trying to hurt him with that remark, and his dick is average sized so it wasn't even true, but I feel like this was justified given the circumstances. Boyfriend turned a wedding into TMI Central. Yikes. I bet his fam's still blushing while OP's like, "Tiny? You earned it." Someone get this guy a mute button and her a mic drop award. Drunk revenge at its finest. That's a roast gone wild. If you were OP, would you clap back like she did or bite your tongue? Was boyfriend's overshare fair game, or did she go too far? How would you recover from that family cringe? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've had a drunk fight flop, spill it. I'm ready for more blow-up-worthy laughs. That wedding zinger hit below the belt, literally. Blow up crew, your champs. Our next story from our /AITAH asshole is a sibling secret kept from toxic parents. If you're loving these secrets, hit subscribe and let's keep the Reddit fireworks popping. I, 28M, had an older sister, Lily, who passed away last year. We were incredibly close growing up, but our home life was not great. Our parents were extremely controlling, obsessed with appearances and cruel behind closed doors. Lily felt this the most, especially when she started to rebel. When she turned 18, she left the house with nothing but a backpack and cut off all contact with them. They portrayed her as a lost cause, and told people she was a drug addict, mentally ill and dangerous. None of this was true. She just wanted a life away from them. We secretly kept in touch. She changed her name, moved to another city and built a quiet, peaceful life for herself. She never asked for money. She never hurt anyone. She just wanted to be left alone. Last year she passed away from a sudden illness. It was devastating. She made me promise that I wouldn't let her anywhere near her. Not to her grave, not to her memory, not to anything. She didn't want a funeral. She wanted to be buried in a quiet, unmarked place, and she made me swear I would never tell them where. I respected her wishes. I paid for everything, kept it to myself, and didn't tell our parents that she had even died until weeks later. When I finally did, they went crazy. They said I was a monster. That I was keeping them from grieving. That I had no right to keep their daughter from them. They begged me, sometimes calmly, sometimes with massive threats, to tell them where she was. I will not do that. I will not break that promise. Since then they have spoken out publicly on social media, claiming I am mentally unstable, accusing me of hiding a body, and announcing they will take legal action. The extended family is torn, some think I did the right thing, others say I'm playing God. But the truth is they buried it long before I did. A couple years ago they stole my phone and went through it finding photos of her and her family. My sister knew it had happened because I told her, but names, ages and whereabouts are kept secret, and it has come to my attention that a lot of people have been asking why I told my parents she died because she allowed me to She was fine with it because she liked the thought of making them feel that pain of never being able to have her in their lives, so they would stop pushing me and spreading lies about her. Parents got ghosted by Lily's grave, savage move. I bet they're still raging while OP's like, promise kept, suckers. Someone get them a map to nowhere and a worst parents trophy. Lily's laughing from the beyond. Blow up fam, that's a loyalty lock. If you were OP, would you keep Lily's secret like he did, or crack under parental pressure? Are the parents monsters or just grieving? How would you stick it to them? Tell me below. And if you've honored a family vow, share it. I'm dying for more blow up worthy heart. Lily's secret spot's safe, OP's a rock. Blow up squad, you're the best. Our next story from our /AITAH hole is a wedding snub with 0 tears shed. If you're hooked, hit that like button and let's dive into more family shade. I, 29F, was supposed to be getting married last year, but my dad died days before the wedding and I couldn't go through with it. Luckily, the venue we had chosen were willing to reschedule us at short notice on compassionate grounds. Our new wedding date is this summer. My mom's husband announced a couple of weekends ago that he won't be coming to my wedding. I said okay and moved on in the conversation I was having with someone else. He was seething with rage over my response and asked me if okay was really all I could say. No question about why or trying to change his mind. I told him I had expected this and he basically told me he'd do this last year anyway, so why would I pretend to be shocked or beg? To provide some more context, my mom married her husband when I was 15. I didn't get to know him before the wedding, so I met him at 15. I don't consider him a father figure and I never called him my stepdad. My older siblings felt the same way. He never put much effort in with them because they were 18 and 21 when he married mom, so I guess he felt like they were fine without him. But it always felt kinda weird because I wasn't some little kid either and I had an involved dad. Last year added some tension. He ended up in the hospital 2 weeks before the wedding and would not have made it if the day had gone ahead then. He was bitter that I rescheduled because dad died, but not so he could be there. There were also some hard feelings over me planning to walk down the aisle and dance with dad and not him. He bitched about it a few weeks after dad died and said he wouldn't come if he was so unimportant. At the time I said nothing because my grief was fresh. But now I'm just like okay. Because I don't care if he's there or not. I really don't. His presence will not make or break my wedding. He felt like I should have argued for him to come and mom said my okay was dismissive and rude. Mom's hubs threw a tantrum over, okay? Boo-hoo. I bet he wanted a parade while OP's like, cool, one less plate. Someone get this guy a tissue and a not invited, RSVP. Wedding's fine without the drama king. Blow up fam, that's a nonchalant nuke. If you were OP, would you shrug him off like she did or beg him to show? Is he fishing for pity or just petty? How would you ditch the guilt trip? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've had a wedding guest flake, spill it. I'm hungry for more blow up worthy shade. Okay, sent him spiraling. OP's unbothered and thriving. Blow up crew, your legends. Our final story from our /AITAH hole is a teen escaping a creepy crush chaos. If you're loving these secrets, hit subscribe and let's wrap this up with a wild exit. I'm 17, my sister Lana is 15 and her best friend Meg is 15. Lana and Meg have been BFFs forever and Meg was always over at our house. It was never a big deal before. I knew she had a crush on me years ago, but I always expected it to go away and I never encouraged it. I came out when I was 13 too, so I figured Meg would realize she never stood a chance. I thought at least Lana would help her try to focus on someone else. But Meg's crush either came back or became fully realized a year ago, and she has been so over the top flirting with me and being inappropriate. I spoke to Lana, I spoke to my parents, and I even tried speaking to Meg. My parents told me she's a kid and it's a harmless crush. They dismissed the real concerns I had about how far Meg was willing to go. They told me it's normal for kids to go a little crazy over a crush. Especially when their crush is so present in their lives. When I told them it made me uncomfortable, they said Meg is a part of the family and she's Lana's BFF and she'll always be welcome. I have found Meg in my room going through my stuff. She stole stuff out of my closet, she slept in my bed when I wasn't home one night, and she even came to me in the middle of the night when she was sleeping over saying she got scared and wanting to climb into my bed. We have a pool in our yard and Meg has tried to slip off her bikini top in front of me before. She's tried touching me in ways I don't like and don't feel comfortable with. It got so bad that I stopped spending time outside last summer because I was freaking out that she might strip in front of me and try to do something and could get one or both of us hurt if I moved away too fast. I had to start locking my bedroom door, but she'd still try to get in. She'd always insist on sitting next to me at lunch or dinner, and if she was included in a family movie night she'd try to cuddle up to me. I avoided the couch for that reason, but even one of the chairs she'd either sit on the arm or even suggest sitting on my lap, or she'd take the floor next to me. Nobody would ever tell her to stop except for me, and nobody had my back. She was like that in school too, and I got some help there. A couple of teachers stepped in and told her she couldn't harass me. One time she tried following me into the boys' bathrooms and she got into big trouble for it. My parents and Lana were upset I got Meg into trouble over that. When they found out I was telling teachers everything, they acted like I was overreacting and being super harsh on poor Meg. It was after that I called my grandparents and told them what was happening, and they said I could move in with them. Since I was 17 and I knew my parents would resist, I just didn't tell them. They were angry and tried very hard to make me move back in. They gave up when I told them to fuck off, and not those exact words, but I did curse. Meg and Lana tried to visit my grandparents' house since I moved in. My grandparents stopped them at the door, and they have told Lana she can visit them if she wants, but Meg is not welcome. Last weekend my wider family had a family reunion at the lake house they all share. Meg was invited to keep Lana company, and when my grandparents and I heard that we all skipped the reunion, I told them they could go, but they said someone needed to stand in my corner and they were the ones to do it. When we didn't show up, my parents' anger got worse and they accused me of taking this too far again, and they said I was acting like a scared kid. They told me to get over it. That Meg's only a kid. That I moved out of my house and avoided my family over a 15-year-old girl with a crush. I asked what would happen if I had to physically push Meg off of me sometime. What if she got hurt physically because I avoided her? They told me I don't need to get physical to stop her and I'm being over dramatic. They told me if I brought a date there'd be no issue. But I tried that. A friend came along as a fake boyfriend to a party before I moved out, and Meg was still flirting and trying to touch me. My grandparents have told my parents repeatedly since I moved in that they're disgusted with the fact they let things get so bad. They wanted my parents to know they blame them completely and feel they should have done a better job protecting me. At one point they even told my parents they didn't deserve the title because they were failing. Meg's out here playing stalker while OP's dodging like a ninja. I bet she's still plotting poolside while grandparents are like, not in our house. Someone get Meg a chill pill and parents a spine. OP's the real MVP for bailing. That's a creep escape. If you were OP, would you move out over Meg's antics like he did, or tough it out? Are parents clueless or just lazy? How would you stop her reign of terror? Tell me below. And if you fled a family mess, share it. I'm starving for more blow-up-worthy madness. Wow, blow-up fam, those secrets were pure fire. Which one blew your mind? Tell me below. I'm reading every comment. Smash that like button and subscribe for more Reddit chaos. Thanks for riding with me. Next time we've got wilder tales. You won't want to miss it. Catch you then.